Lesson: Age word problems. I know there is a difference in our age, but who cares? My heart has no idea how old your heart is. If Jasmine's present age is X, then her age in 5 years will be X plus 5. And 6 years ago, her age was X minus 6. If Renata's age 10 years ago was X, then her age now is X plus 10. And in 12 years, she will be X plus 22. 5 years ago, Peter's age was 1/2 of the age he will be in 8 years. How old is he now? Past, present, and future table. 5 years ago. It means 5 years ago he was 5 years younger than now. Thus, his age 5 years ago equals the present age minus 5. He will be in 8 years. It means in 8 years he will be 8 years older than now. Thus, his future age equals present age plus 8. Let x be his present age, such that x is greater than 5. X minus 5 is his past. X plus 8 is his future. 5 years ago, Peter's age was 1/2 of the age he will be in 8 years. This fact leads to the equation x minus 5 equals 1/2 times the quantity x plus 8. On the domain open interval 5 infinity. To obtain an equation with integer coefficients, we should multiply both sides of the equation by 2. Applying the distributive property of multiplication over addition and the associative property of multiplication. 2x minus 10 equals x plus 8. This is a linear equation with one variable. Separate the variable. Add positive 10 and negative x on both sides of the equation. 2x minus x equals 8 plus 10. X equals 18, which belongs to the domain open interval 5 infinity. Peter age now equals x. Thus, the answer of the question is Peter is 18 years old now. Spencer is twice as old as his friend Jason, and Jason is 5 years older than Tom. In 5 years, Spencer will be 3 times as old as Tom now. How old is Tom now? In 5 years means all of them will be 5 years older. Each future age equals the present age plus 5. Spencer is twice as old as his friend Jason. Let x equals Jason's age right now, such that x is greater than 0. Spencer's age now is 2x. Jason is 5 years older than Tom. Thus, Tom is 5 years younger than Jason. Tom's age now equals x minus 5. In 5 years, Spencer will be 3 times as old as Tom now. This fact leads to the equation 2x plus 5 equals 3 times the quantity x minus 5. On the domain open interval 5 infinity. Eliminate parentheses by applying the distributive property of multiplication over addition and the associative property of multiplication. 2x plus 5 equals 3x minus 15. This is a linear equation with one variable. Separate the variable and add negative 3x and negative 5 on both sides of the equation. 2x minus 3x equals negative 15 minus 5. Perform calculations. Negative x equals negative 20. Multiply both sides of the equation by negative 1. X equals 20, which belongs to the domain open interval 5 infinity. How old is Tom now? We found x equals 20. Substitute the value of x in the expression of Tom's age now. X minus 5 equals 20 minus 5, which equals 15. Thus, the answer of the question is Tom is 15 years old now. 8 years ago, the ratio of Alex's age to Joe's age was 5 to 3. In 20 years, Joe will be 10 years younger than Alex. How old is Joe now? Construct the past, present, and future table. 8 years ago means both of them were 8 years younger than now. Each past age equals the present age minus 8. In 20 years means that both of them will be 20 years older than now. Each future age equals the present age plus 20. The ratio of Alex's age to Joe's age was 5 to 3. Thus, Alex's age 8 years ago equals 5x, such that x is greater than 0. Joe's age 8 years ago equals 3x. Indeed, the ratio of 5x to 3x is 5 to 3. In 20 years, Joe will be 10 years younger than Alex. At any time, if two people are 10 years apart, they will remain 10 years apart. Thus, Joe 8 years ago was 10 years younger than Alex 8 years ago. This fact leads to the equation 3x equals 5x minus 10, which is equivalent to 2x equals 10, which is finally equivalent to x equals 5. We found x equals 5. Substitute the value of x into Joe's age 8 years ago. Thus, Joe's age 8 years ago equals 3x, which equals 3 times 5, which equals 15. Joe's age now is equal to 15 plus 8, which is 23. Answer: Joe is 23 years old now. 5 years ago, Pranav was twice as old as Rachel. In 10 years, the sum of the reciprocals of their ages is equal to 13 over 126. Find Pranav's age now. Construct the past, present, and future table for Pranav and Rachel. 5 years ago, we insert in the past. In 10 years is our future 10 years. 5 years ago, Pranav was twice as old as Rachel. Let x equals Rachel's age 5 years ago. Pranav's age is equal to 2x. If Pranav's age 5 years ago was 2x, then his present age is 2x plus 5. And Rachel's present age is x plus 5. If Pranav's present age is 2x plus 5, then his age in 10 years will be 2x plus 15, and Rachel's age in 10 years will be x plus 15. In 10 years, the sum of the reciprocals of their ages is equal to 13 divided by 126. This fact leads to the equation 1 over the quantity 2x plus 15 plus 1 over the quantity x plus 15 equals 13 over 126. On the domain, open interval 0 infinity. This is a rational equation. Bring to the same denominator with an LCMD of 126 times the quantity of x plus 15 times the quantity of 2x plus 15. Amplify each of the fractions by its respective products. Perform calculations. We obtain at the numerator on the left side 126x plus 1,890 plus 252x plus 1,890. And the numerator on the right-hand side of the equation is 13 squared times the quantity 2x plus 45x plus 225. Eliminate denominators by multiplying both sides of the equation by the LCMD, which is not equal to 0. This is equivalent to 126x plus 1,890 plus 252x plus 1,890 is equal to 13 times the quantity 2x squared plus 45x plus 225. Grouping like terms, eliminating parentheses, and applying the distributive property of multiplication over addition. We obtain 378x plus 3,780 is equal to 26x squared plus 585x plus 2,925. This is a quadratic equation. Write the equation in standard form by adding negative 382x and negative 3,780 on both sides of the equation and applying the reflexive property of an equation. 26x squared plus 207x minus 855 is equal to 0. Use the ABC discriminant quadratic formula. Identify the coefficients. Find the discriminant, which is equal to b squared minus 4ac, or 207 squared minus 4 times 26 times negative 855, which simplifies to 131,769, which is equal to 363 squared. x12 is equal to negative b plus or minus square root of the discriminant over 2a, which is negative 207 plus or minus 363 over 2 times 26, which simplifies to x1 being equal to a negative number, which does not belong to our domain open interval 0 infinity, and x2 is equal to negative 207 plus 363 over 52, which is equal to 3, which belongs to our domain open interval 0 infinity. Substitute the solution x equals 3 into Pranav's age now. Thus, the answer of the question is Pranav is 11 years old now. On January 1st, 2000, Renata read a riddle. The ratio of Alex, Weiwei's, and Bob's ages in 2005 would be 3 to 4 to 7. Also, the sum of the squares of Alex's age and Weiwei's age in 1990 was equal to 330 more than 8 times Bob's age in 2000. How old was Bob when Renata read the riddle? Construct the past, present, and future table for Alec, Weiwei, and Bob. The ratio of their ages in 2005 was 3 to 4 to 7. Therefore, we can fill in 3x, 4x, and 7x for 2005. 2000 is 5 years in the past relative to 2005. Therefore, the ages are 3x minus 5, 4x minus 5, and 7x minus 5. Similarly, 1990 is 15 years in the past, and we fill in respectively. Alec is the youngest person. He had to be alive in 1990. Thus, 3x minus 15 is greater than 0, which is equivalent to x is greater than 5. The sum of the squares of Alec's age and Weiwei's age in 1990 is the quantity 3x minus 15 squared plus the quantity 4x minus 15 squared. This is equal to 330 more than 8 times Bob's age in 2000, which is represented by 330 plus 8 times the quantity 7x minus 5. This leads to the equation as follows on the domain open interval 5 infinity. Expanding the two binomial squares into trinomials, applying the binomial square formula. 3x everything squared minus 2 times 3x times 15 plus 15 squared plus 4x everything squared minus 2 times 4x times 15 plus 15 squared equals 330 plus 56x minus 40. Performing calculations, 9x squared minus 90x plus 225 plus 16x squared minus 120x plus 225 equals 330 plus 56x minus 40. Grouping like terms, as you see, red's group, blue's group, and purple's group. Performing calculations and bringing all terms to the left side of the equation, we add on both sides of the equation negative 330, negative 56x, and positive 40. 25x squared minus 266x plus 160 equals 0. This is a quadratic equation in standard form. The coefficient of the linear term is even. Apply the half quadratic formula to solve the equation. Identify the coefficients. Delta prime equals b prime squared minus ac, which is equal to negative 133 squared minus 25 times 160, which equals 13,689, or 117 squared. x12 is equal to 133 plus or minus 117 over 25. x1 is 3.2, which does not belong to the domain open interval 5 infinity. x2 simplifies to 10, which belongs to the domain open interval 5 infinity. The question asks how old was Bulb when Renata read the riddle. Substitute x equals 10 into Bulb's age in 2000. 7x minus 5 equals 7 times 10 minus 5, which equals 70 minus 5. Thus, the answer is Bulb was 65 years old in 2000. The end.